Hello, I had some questions, and so in response to that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more, just a little. So it is 202401250317, and just wanted to start out with a little bit of just a word before I get into anything. So none of what we do is possible without assistance from God. Whether or not you believe that or not, that is the case. My intellect is owed entirely to assistance from God. Specifically, Jesus Christ. And that's who I reach for. And then there is God the Father. So, first with Jesus though, yeah? So, there is a need in order to establish basic agreements in this corporatized world that we must incorporate, as much as I don't like that idea. And if we can get rid of it, we're going to. We will. This is what it's going to look like at first. Okay? It's going to be based on a design that we're borrowing from Principality and a lot of other places. This works very well, including in management of Principality. And whether or not you believe that, I don't care. I really don't. Because this works and it works really well. It's tried and true and it's long standing. And it's very durable. Okay, so our corporation name and the name when it converts to TOS is going to be JaMaliKor. Okay, and I'm going to switch over here so we can follow along, yeah. So it's going to be JaMaliKor, yeah. And we're going to follow the GEALAA model, okay? The GEALAA model, in this implementation, we're going to define as God, who we strive toward, the executive, him, that's me, Jason Paul Thompson. Architect is JaMaliKor, and it's going to be leveraged by Audit Chief Jared, just Jared for now, and Audit Chief Mohammed. The purpose of what we are establishing is to be pretty much the industry backbone everywhere. Everywhere. Okay? That might seem ambitious, but it's actually just going to go that way. Okay? So, in terms of operationally, what we're going to work with is a consultative model, and when we interface with others, individuals or organizations, either one, it's going to be a rate based on ability to pay. For example, if we see someone starting up and they don't have any money but they've got a really good functional idea, we may just support them and turn them loose. Okay? And then get our, they may credit us or not later, but get our kicks out of watching it work, because we do that with lots of things, man. So, this is a departure of corporate model, obviously, but all tiers in our organization always are directly interactive. That is, we don't have this org chart that with these unspoken rules that you can't talk to anyone higher than your boss. Anyone can talk to anyone, and that's standard, man. You may want to have good reason for it, but if you are entry level and you want to approach executive and you feel like you should, then you can, and that is unquestionably the case. It's open door. Okay? And so all of this is going to be staging for conversion later into a TOS. A TOS is a task operational structure. It's distinctly different from a corporation because it has accountability, man. Okay? Corporations don't, do they? They don't. Alright, so let's get into some definitions here so you can understand what I'm talking about even. So, task operational structure, or TOS, is a container, defined in previous video, of any organization of multiple individuals in combination endeavoring toward a common set of goals, having any consistency of organization and individual participation. By definition, a task operational structure cannot be a person or individual. Okay, so question on that is, well, okay, if you're naming it JaMaliKor and the architect is JaMaliKor, the TOS is also named JaMaliKor, definitely distinctively owned in inheritance by JaMaliKor, and he's going to be the implementation architect. So when it's time for me to go, and I will, JaMaliKor will step into executive, okay, and these others, one or the other, may shift up from there. Basically, the concept here is all four of us are going to have just about a perfect working knowledge of the entire conglomerate. Okay, JaMaliKor, being the architect of it, is literally going to have his hands in every cookie jar, dude. Jared and Mohammed are going to also, because they're going to be checking it for faults. Okay, and also to see if there's any malfeasance, because we're going to weed that out immediately if we find it. Okay, we will not allow corruption to be introduced into our organization, man. We won't tolerate it. So, on that understanding, we'll continue. An individual is a container, previously defined, that is any singular unit of intelligence which may assert itself and demonstrate uniqueness of being, but also being composed of tangible components. Tangibility must be demonstrated by assertion through any medium of paradigm set, and must be individually and uniquely identifiable as a container. An individual may or may not have a defined Philorulement. Later, yeah. Person is an individual with compatibility potential in a constitution to be defined as a citizen. Confidentiality ring is a specifically articulated container of individuals with privilege to access or act as an agent for elements of task operational structure, dependent family members, vehicles, property, resources, assets, or information. The level of privilege of each individual is specified in the confidentiality ring configuration definition set and intrinsic subset, which fully describes all aspects of the confidentiality ring in a singular, complete articulation. GEALAA TOS model is a task operational structure model for an organization that follows this top-level design philosophy, which is derived from the standard model in Calm Principality. God is sought for consultation in all decisions. The executive acts as the directive visionary. The architect implements and refines that vision into a working model. Leverage on all aspects of the organization is applied for quality, accountability, and transparency purposes, having two internal independent audit chiefs who may make any inquiry into any organizational or operational matter at any time. These auditors are free to publish their findings internally or externally as deemed appropriate by them and with the intended audience usually included in applicable confidentiality ring or an applicable confidentiality ring, but depending on the nature of the audit and the results, the publication may be made available to the general public, and that's at their discretion. The leverage is significant in that audit. Concerns are required to be addressed by both executive and architect in every case, not merely with deflection, but resolution and solution, again verified by audit. The primary consideration for having two independent audit groups is that the executive and architect can have clear assurance their design and intent is followed, and that the implementation continues to be sound in practicality. An additional reason for the functional audit groups is for inter-TOS reliability and accountability insurance. Basically, it's to keep your reputation in check and let others know they can count on you, and if they have a question, man, they can actually get an answer, not some fluff piece. Yeah? Okay, the acronym is God, Executive, Architect, Leveraged, Audit, Audit. The default agreement between those involved in architecture or operations is that there does exist higher power, however you as an individual believe that is defined. This organizational structure focuses on and maximizes agreement. It is definitively unifying in that regard. All departmental, functional, organizational approaches within the organization also follow this model. So in other words, if you were in this model at the executive level and then you created a subset of divisions, they would also have this structure. Okay? And bonk, it's like chain lightning, man. Yeah? It works really good too. Philorulement. If that's a word you've never heard, then break it down, man. Philorulement is a specific philosophical architecture a person or group of persons abide by as their own internal driver of individual mandate. Philorulement is what an individual abides by in his own governance of personal conduct, regardless of location or environmental conditions. Philorulement is unique to an individual, although the general structure may be informed by a combination of philosophical constraints, government, faith, and other things which influence the mind. A principality has a component definition of philorulement governing individuals living inside and outside its territory, which must be maintained as a standard minimal compliance set for an individual to maintain relationship with the principality. Principality is a territorial control set that is extraplanetary in definition up to and including extra-universal dimensions of definition. Territorial Control Set is a specific class of container having these qualities: domain of order, specifying the absolute region, constitution, fully articulating government design operating this domain of order, military, designated as responsible for maintaining order in and defending this domain of order, designated currency mandated as acceptable for all trade in this domain of order, citizen by index by key in this domain of order, resident foreigner index by key of all non-citizen individuals in this domain of order. It means you're responsible for everything within your territory, man. Individual mandate was described as a statement of allegiance, and a statement of allegiance to it was requested from individuals participating in inter-principality-wide, including some extra-universal holdings of calm and peace. Not verbatim, but individual mandate was described this way: we support maximum individual freedom to achieve the best possible outcome for all individuals, regardless of identity or any metric of grouping. We will support individuals in pursuit of all things that which are good. We will always act in defense of individual mandate, regardless of who the individual is whose individual mandate is threatened. We also support and affirm that strong families are central and required to achieve this aim. A pledge was requested from all nations and principalities, including from all individuals in participation from them. Unanimously agreed. Addendum 202311012, Principality of the Beast, Principality of the Darkness, and Principality of Light formally agreed. This is by treaty. But anyway, there were some questions about that, and so that is the response to you, and that's what we're going to do. Okay? Yeah, we're just gonna keep working. So, just so you understand, this is it, man. This is in charge. Thank you.